Hey guys, so someone had a great question the other day, and I gave like a brief answer, but I wanted to answer at a little more length on here because it was such an awesome question that I think can kind of stretch to other things as well. So the question was, can we use mindfulness and meditation to retrain the ego? Or is it always going to be kind of like combative with us? And I like this question because I feel like the ego gets such a bad rap, among other things. And like for example, those of us who work in this mind-body model for mental and emotional well-being, and who are working to clear ourselves from chronic pain and chronic illness, a lot of times it feels like in the beginning, before we really understand this work and how to help ourselves, it feels like most of the time we're kind of at war with our bodies. And the great thing about the work that we do in JournalSpeak and otherwise is that we begin to develop a more loving and compassionate relationship with ourselves and our body. And I think the same is absolutely true for our relationship with our own mind and our ego. So mindfulness and meditation practices are certainly one way that we can retrain our ego and kind of soften it, I think is a good way to put it. But there are lots of ways too, and doing the work in general of personal development and exploring our past, exploring our stories and the patterns that have kind of kept us stuck throughout our lives is a great way to start to understand what the ego is really there for, because it always gets this negative rap, but it's really not a negative thing. It's there to kind of mediate between our really like raw desires and impulses and feelings and our really like high and mighty kind of self-consciousness or conscience, I should say. More so, it gives us a more realistic approach to being a human, because we're not going to all be just like saintly people always living in what we would call the superego, which is this conscience. We also don't want to live in the id, which is, it's this raw kind of animalistic side. So the ego is there to balance that. So it's actually a terrific adaptive tool. And it gets this bad reputation, but it really is a positive thing. And so the more work you can do to understand your relationship with your mind, just like your relationship with your body, and kind of communicate with yourself on a continuous basis, the more you're going to be free from that experience of combat and war with yourself, which is like the ultimate key to happiness, is getting out of this battle with ourselves. So I hope that's helpful in answering that question, and I hope it opens up like a million other questions, because realizing that this is really the best way for me to help is to answer questions, or to have people, tell me what you need help with or what you're curious about, the questions that you have. And of course I don't have all the answers, but I love answering questions about these types of topics. And if I don't know the answers that you're asking for, then I love to go and do some research and figure it out, so that I can answer you. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm under 5 minutes, which is really cool. Foxy, who's here with me right now, I don't think I can turn this around, so we'll try and get a glimpse of her, the fox in her native habitat. She just pooped, so I've got to go pick that up. But I hope this is helpful, and I would love to hear more questions or your own opinions on all this stuff too. Okay, bye guys.